Hi, I'm Twila.
And I'm Natalie.
And this is Twila and Natalie.
We're going to chat with you all about the joys and the pitfalls of being a grown woman in our little mini show where we're going to talk about topics that we've gotten from our listeners or things we've been wondering about ourselves.
Okay. I mean, I wasn't wondering this, but we can share.
I'm wondering.
Okay. So today we want to talk about what are the things you do when nobody is watching?
Yeah, this is like, I don't know why I've been hyper aware of this lately, but there are a few things I know that I do, and I'm like, wow, I don't do that when no one else is around. And off the top of my head,
such as?
Yeah, such as. So if I eat breakfast and I'm alone and I eat the same thing every day, I have 2 eggs, some sausage, half an avocado. I mean, usually it does not vary.
Okay.
Sometimes I might do a little bacon, maybe some Spam, but generally it's about that.
Okay.
And I do eggs that are sunny side up.
Okay.
I lick the plate.
She said,
with the egg yolk.
She is saying that with such like glee. Why don't you just make a piece of toast?
I don't eat bread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you just use the sausage?
I try. But then
enough.
It's not. And there's all the egg on the plate. And it's so good.
Okay, the funny part is when you're saying like why you don't do these things, my brain is immediately like, oh yeah, that makes sense because then you're like I've already worked out all of that. Yeah, okay.
And one time, this was some years ago, because I also do it with steak sauce. I was standing at my kitchen sink, licking my plate before I wash it because I had steak with some A1 sauce.
Okay,
and I'm licking the sauce off, and I look out the window, and there's one of my friends. Standing at my door, showing up to say hello.
That's what you're just supposed to double down and just lick on the plate right in front of her. Be like, hold on, I'll be right a second.
I think I did.
Yeah, just be like, I'm washing dishes. Wait a second.
Like, you must have made something really good.
No, and then you're supposed to be like, no, I was just washing dishes.
Would you like a cup?
I appreciate that the thing that you confess to do when nobody's watching is solely around like enjoying your food so much. You just want to savor every
and I've tried. I remember telling the kids that I do it, and they're like, "Why don't you do it now?" I'm like, I can't do it in front of people.
Oh, okay.
I just, having been raised in an Asian household, so you can relate to a degree.
I live in an Asian household. I understand.
There are just certain things, that just I have a hard time, even when I think, well, I can do this. Like, no, I can't. I can do it privately. Same reason why I can't walk around like an elephant.
What do you mean like an elephant?
Loud, stomping. People who walk loud walkers. Boom, 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 boom.
I'm offended.
You're probably a loud walker.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't.
But I'm allowed to do that in my house.
I don't.
I'm allowed to do that wherever I want, actually.
I'm a delicate tropical flower. And as my mom always said, what man will want you if you walk around like an elephant?
Tell your mom you can walk around like an elephant if you can do other things. Okay. They get over that real quick.
But it's one of those things, I just can't. So even when I'm alone,
okay. So you're like
I don't walk around
when you're
like an elephant.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I think it's obnoxious.
Literally, when I'm by myself, all rules are off. I don't care because I'm by myself and nobody's looking. So I can do whatever I want. I put clothes on. I don't have to. I don't have to wear a bra. That's the first thing that goes when there's nobody looking is a bra. It's got to go. Yeah, girls have to roam free. I don't care how far south of the equator they are. They're just not getting hemmed up anymore.
Well, it's the only way to signal I'm not leaving the house today anymore is when you take your bra off. It's the universal female signal for I will not be leaving the house.
I would like to say that that's accurate, but
you still leave the house?
Doesn't stop me.
With those giant tatas?
Mm-hmm.
Without a bra?
That's what baggy sweatshirts is for.
Yeah,
if I really have to go, if something comes up, I can... Yeah, I'm all right. I mean, I'm not running.
Yeah, you don't want to knock an eye out.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to hurt anybody. But yeah, like, I don't. That's not really a deterrent. No, I'm trying to think what else. What do I do when nobody's looking?
Yeah, besides take your bra off.
Yeah,
which sounds like you do when people are looking, anyways.
No, not when they're looking. I mean, but yeah, no. I mean, I think nudity is probably my greatest indulgence when nobody's looking, when nobody's watching. Cause
when you're home alone.
Yeah, because I don't. I wear clothes all day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to.
You take your clothes off when no one's around. I just admitted to licking plates,
laundry.
Twyla. You got to do better than that.
Listen, I told you this isn't going to be very exciting for you because you already know there isn't a lot of stuff that I'm unwilling to do in front of other people. I don't have that same sort of embarrassment index that other people have. I'm usually pretty transparent with everything that I do and how I do it. So. I don't, I'm not, very little embarrasses me to the point where I would only want to do it in private.
Yeah, I guess. No, I have a few more things.
Yeah.
I have another one that's kind of gross, which I don't really want to admit, but in the spirit of our show and all it stands for.
Okay, so an explicit tag is coming? That's
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
telling
no,
me?
no,
Okay,
no.
just checking.
I'll admit all of that happily. No. In the morning when I blow my nose, I like to see if there's any big boogers in it.
Everybody does that.
I feel accomplished.
Everybody
but who
does
admits
that.
it? I admitted it.
Nobody admits it, but everybody does it.
I look.
Yeah, everybody does it. You kind of teach your kids to do it. So
What?
You teach your kids to do it, to make sure that they get stuff out of their nose.
Oh, well, I taught them to blow their nose, but I don't recall ever telling them to then check.
Oh, I remember teaching them specifically to check, especially because my son has sinus issues. So he had to be able to know the difference between whether he was clearing his sinuses or if they were too swollen to clear them. So he doesn't just keep blowing and then making it worse.
Oh, and nothing's coming out?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I didn't know that was an odd thing to teach your kids, but I've always taught them to do that. So
I also, when I'm alone at home, will sing and dance.
I told you I do that.
I got caught the other night by a neighbor.
Okay, wait. Can we rewind the tape? Because just as a point of order, if you're alone in your house doing things, draw the shades.
Well, it was a nice day.
I don't care. Draw the shades.
It was hot out.
Listen, if I'm having like naked Saturday or naked whatever day of the week it's going to be, you're not going to catch me. You know why? Because all my blinds are going to be drawn. I'm in my house. And that's not even to protect the public from seeing me. That's because whatever I'm doing in here is none of your damn business. And I like to have that. I like to have like blackout level privacy when I'm on my own and nobody's around. That's just me.
Wow. So you mean even if it's a nice day?
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, if it was that nice of a day, I'd go outside. But since I chose not to go outside, just double down and enjoy yourself. It's fine. I can't always hang out in my basement. Sometimes it's cold down there. And nudity and cold don't go together.
No, that's true.
So,
yeah. Well, and that's part of why too. And I live up, so when I was singing and dancing by my sliding glass door, then I saw the elderly neighbor across the way, lower down, looking up.
Okay. See? Because people are nosy. I tell you all the time.
Yeah.
And that's so
at night, when it's dark, because I know my neighbors can see right in, I do draw the blinds when I'm up moving around. If I'm sitting on the couch, they can't see me. I'll leave it. But yeah.
Okay. I can admit this. I don't do it as much anymore because I don't really eat a lot of that stuff anymore. But if I was on my own and nobody else is going to be around and I was like, I need to get dinner or whatever, I was sort of the queen of like being ridiculous. Like I would go get the fast food I wanted from like the 2 or 3 favorite places and just have it all as one dinner. So I'd be like, I want McDonald's fries, but I want a Burger King hamburger.
Oh.
And I want to turn over from Arby's. And you know what I'm going to do? Go get them all. And you know what you're not going to say? Nothing, because nobody's here but me.
I love, though, that you would take the time, put in the effort to do that for yourself.
Which was ridiculous.
But it's kind of fun and nicely self-indulgent.
It's very self-indulgent. Yeah. It was kind of like, terrible for my arteries, self-indulgent.
Oh, totally. And you would never let your kids do that.
No,
they'd be like, I want fries from McDonald's and a burger from Burger King. You'd be like, no.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. I have done that. I have let them do that because it's a small indulgence, and we don't like my family are not like we don't buy things. We're not like spend money on frivolous things. My kids get gifts at Christmas and birthdays and and a lot of our fast food is right next to each other. So if we're going to like Taco Bell and it's next to Arby's, we will get like Taco Bell and then have Arby's fries for dinner like to go with it.
Wow.
Like, we'll be like it's Friday.
Yeah, I've done that with baked goods back when I used to eat gluten and processed sugar, which now I almost never do. I would go to this one bakery I really liked, knowing I was going to order multiple things for myself, but I would be like, oh my gosh, what did my sister want? That's right. She wanted a chocolate eclair.
Okay, you're so
like
cute.
I would order for makeup people I'm ordering for, so
you're
I have to
cute.
do 5 different things.
You know what?
As if anyone cares.
Okay, see, here's the difference between you and me. That's not I would totally openly do that in public and totally own it. And then go eat it privately. Like I would eat
You're not going to sit there in the cafe and eat it.
No, I would I would go to like we have a really well known Italian place that does pizza and baked goods and where we live. And I would go there and they would have these like lobster claws, which were like this puff pastry that was full of like cream, and they were gigantic. They were ridiculous. They're still there. You should. Oh yeah, I guess you don't do that anymore, but it's worth it. And I would go there, and I would never get over there because it would take forever for me to like have a reason to be over on that side of town.
Yeah.
So if I went in there to get it, and I ordered it, the lady would be like, "What do you want?" And I would go, "I want one of those." And then she would give it to me. I go, no, just give me 3. And she would go, oh, she was like, oh, that's nice. You're going to bring to somebody? I'm like, no, girl, these are for me. I am never here. This is going to be my weekend enjoyment. I'm going to eat one of those a day. And then and I laugh about it or whatever. And she'd be like, good for you. And just like, cause she's selling them. She doesn't care. And then I would go home and I would literally eat them probably until I was sick. Like, by Sunday, I'd be like, I can't eat another one.
And you would eat them privately at home.
Okay.
I've ordered takeout for myself and asked for 4 place settings.
See, that is so cute. I don't do any of that. If I'm having it, screw you, I'm having it. Like, I will go to...
that's healthier, I'm sure.
Yeah, like
I mean, mentally.
I feel like just enjoy it. Like, you don't have to know what my circumstance is. Like, even in my new quote-unquote vegan life, if I go to Whole Foods and I want, like, the tofu sandwich or whatever, I get them to make it exactly what I want, the way I want. I have them add all the stuff to it. And while he's cooking it, he'll be like, okay, can I get you anything else? I'm like, no, I'll be back because I'm going over here to pick up these other things to go with it because it's my day and I'm doing what I want.
Twila Dang will not be food shamed.
No, I won't. You know what? Yeah. I really and truly won't. Now, I will admit this. I don't eat with any manners when nobody's around.
See, I've done that a little bit just because I feel like I'm so conditioned to having to have good manners and things in front of people that sometimes I want to do it just to be rebellious, but I even have a hard time by myself. But sometimes I do. I'll hunch over my plate and eat with my hands.
Everything is finger food. I don't use cutlery. I don't use plates because, hey, somebody's got to wash it. And if I'm here alone.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's okay. So I have no issue like eating the pizza straight out of the box. I have no issue. Okay, well, I don't do this anymore. I used to do this when I was young and I just lived by myself. Like I would drink straight out of containers. Yeah. Which is super gross. Don't do that. But like now that I'm an adult and I share a house with people, I really don't do that because I don't want them doing it. And I try to like be a stickler about it. Yeah. But if I'm like eating takeout or whatever and it doesn't require a fork or I can manage with, just my fingers, then I just sit here and just indulge. I
think it's funny how many of the things that we do when no one is looking revolves around food.
That's true. I mean, that's not actually true. It's just there's lots of things I'm not telling you that I do. There's lots of things I do when nobody's watching. It's just none of your business. But
this is a family show.
Yeah,
although there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly natural and normal. What you do when no one's looking.
I like it.
If it requires batteries, that is your business.
Okay, well, I'm not embarrassed to tell anybody about that. So. that ain't even what I'm talking about. Everybody knows. I'm like, you could ask me about that. I don't care. No, I mean, I'm trying to think of most things that I indulge in that when nobody is watching, or things I do when nobody's watching, has to do with sort of ease of use or ease of my life. So like I said, I don't wear clothes when nobody's around because, geez, I don't want to get dressed. It's laundry, and I don't have to do that today, and I can just kind of chill out and relax. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Okay, I will say this. I have my new habit when there's nobody around is to try to catch up on stuff on the DVR that I won't watch around my kids. And so that essentially becomes an activity that I do by myself. Yeah. Because I can't even watch some of those things on Netflix because we share a Netflix account. Oh. So, yeah. So, like the time that I tried to watch Blue is the Warmest Color, which go look it up. Okay, don't look it up on your own Netflix. Just look it up on IMDb. So you have the gist. So you don't get in trouble like I did. Yeah. And that I literally tried to watch it, and there's a point in that movie. It's essentially about a love story about two women, young women. And there comes a point in the story where there is this extended, and by extended I mean at least 7-minute love scene. Wow. And by love scene, I mean it answered all the questions about lesbian sex I ever wanted to know. And some I didn't want to know. And so I literally was watching it, kind of got to the point where I'm like, okay, I've seen enough of this. I'm going to turn this off. So I turned it off. But when you have Netflix, it just it immediately asks, do you want to continue watching it?
Do you want to keep watching this?
Or it recommends things based on you having watched it. Yeah. So twice in that
because you watch this kind of porn, right, you're probably going to like this.
Right. So what happened in the next 6 or 7 days is one of my kids went into the Netflix account. We do have a kids account, but we also have my account. Yeah. And my son is older, so he's allowed to go to toggle through both. So he went into mine going to watch something, and it was just like, would you like to resume watching Blue is the Warmest Color? And it was just like, what is this? He was like, what were you watching? And I was
first off, Twila, you were making parenting mistake number one. Yeah, when you watch stuff like that,
scrub it.
You log into your kids' account and you frame them for it. So if it comes up, you'd be like, it's on your
It's not,
Netflix.
like,
so I don't know what you're talking about.
What were you doing? Yeah. And then, okay, so then it gets worse. We let my mother-in-law use the login for Netflix. So within the same time period, my son saw it and was like, what were you watching? And then my mother-in-law went in and she tends to like see us watching things, and she knows like we watch all kinds of movies. And so she usually takes our recommendations. So she saw that it was running and was like, oh, then this must be a good movie. You've got like 2/3 of the way through it. And then she tried to watch. And the next time I saw her, she was like, yeah, I was watching this movie on Netflix. I didn't understand it. And I was like, oh, what was it? And then she tells me the name, and I'm like, yeah, no.
I don't know who watched that.
Yeah, no,
Frankly, I think it was the kids.
You know, I didn't.
They're
cop.
curious.
You know, I didn't cop to it. I was just like, I was like, you know, we let a lot of people use our Netflix account. You can't watch everything that pops up there.
You know what doesn't do that is on HBO.
Yeah,
if you got the HBO app and then you watch, what do they call it, late night?
Yeah,
it doesn't show. You know.
See, that's why
it doesn't show that you've been watching.
But see, that I'll put all that stuff on the DVR, and the kids don't mess with the stuff on the DVR because nobody cares about that but me, because I'm the only dinosaur left that still watches our cable television. So when they're gone, then I'm like, oh, I'll watch the whole season.
Yeah,
of Big
it'll
Little
only
Lies.
unless it's under, because sometimes things are under documentaries on HBO, but also under late night because it's a documentary about sex in some way. And I love documentaries, and I'm fascinated with any documentary about sex or prison. I don't know why.
Just when they isolate the clip and it says, I'm fascinated with documentaries about sex or prison. I don't know why. I'm just leaving it right there. I'm not even going to put that without context. It's right out in the world.
Because they've had documentaries about, you know, the legal sex workers in Amsterdam and things like that.
Right.
And then, you know, then I watch documentaries about, you know, high security life at XYZ prison or something.
I appreciate you being on highbrow with the things you watch in private. I'm not. I'm usually watching something smutty in private, or I'm watching something that I know will wind up eventually being smutty in private, or I'm watching something completely self-indulgent. And okay, I didn't watch this in private, but whatever. I watched the movie, the Lifetime version of like Prince Harry and the Black Princess getting together.
There's already a Lifetime movie about
that? You didn't see it?
No.
It was everything.
Really?
It was everything terrible and wonderful. It was like a Hallmark movie stuffed in a Lifetime movie, wrapped in a.
Was it actually about them, or was it?
It was a dramatization of how they supposedly got together.
So is her mom black?
Yeah.
Okay, so her dad's white. Yeah. Her mom's black.
Yeah. Okay, wait. So the best part, and then I promise we won't sidebar. The very best part is that they theorize that there was a point where he introduced her to the queen, and the queen shows them a portrait in the castle and says, this is our ancestor from this century. And the reason, and we're really proud of the fact that they allowed for her African features to be shown in the photo. And then they both look at each other and she goes, that's right, Harry. You're of mixed race. So am I.
Is that real?
No. They made all of this up. They knew that the castle wasn't ever, they knew that the royals weren't going to say, no, it went like this. They're just going to ignore it. Yeah. So they just did whatever the heck they wanted and just put it out there and just like, well, they're not going to tell us it didn't actually go down like this. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I mean, I loved it. It was cheesy goodness, but it was so ridiculous. And usually I would watch something like that in private so I don't have to hear my whole family be like, Mom. Yeah. But that one, I was like, listen, we're in the middle of celebrating what I officially call Black Princess Week.
Oh, totally.
So you're going to say nothing. I'm going to watch all this coverage wall to wall. And I watched it, and it's on the DVR. I'll probably watch it again. It was worth it. Totally, utterly, thoroughly worth it. Okay, so is there anything like specifically that you won't do in public? I mean, like that you won't do when other people are watching, will you indulge in like your beauty routines and things like that in front of other people, or are there certain ones you just keep to yourself?
I don't like to, but I will. I don't even like to, put my makeup on in front of my guy. Not like he doesn't know.
Really?
But
well, you want to pop out and be like, it's like when you.
Oh, girl, I went months. In fact, probably more than a year before he even found out that my eyelashes are fake.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And we used to lay there next to the fireplace, and he'd be like, I just love your lashes.
You're ridiculous.
Add to your beauty. I'm like, thank you.
You are so ridiculous.
Hey, they're real. They're mine. I paid for them.
I cannot even.
Yeah. And then later on it came up. I think I somehow let it slip. I have a lash appointment. What? For what? My lash extensions.
That's remarkable.
Well, because they're not, the strips where you take them off.
Wait,
so
but
he would have not seen it.
But that's remarkable. Do you see that? Well,
I didn't want to rob him of that.
But you know what? But I appreciate that about you because there's just no artifice on my side.
Yeah.
No, I mean pretty much
keep
after
the fantasy alive.
Nah, pretty much after the first. Yeah. By the time my husband saw me naked for the first time, it was just like all bets are off. So like I wear socks and I clip my toenails on Thursdays, and
you clip your toenails in front of him.
I do everything in front of him.
I don't
Who
do
cares?
that.
I don't care. He does everything in front of me, so it's like we're fine. It's like, but I told you we are not. We did not have this like soft gauzy focused romance. Like we are essentially two dudes.
Yeah, that's
so
true. That's
it's
true.
So it's like does all this maintenance like prevent you from wanting to have sex with me? Didn't think so. Same, vice versa. Like I knew we had crossed over like where other people say relationship is dead. I knew we had crossed over to like fully, truly comfortable space when we started asking each other to do stupid stuff. Like I think I have a pimple on my shoulder. Can you get it? And or like can you like I have a gray hair in the back. Can you just like get the tweezers and pluck it out?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I have zero artifice.
I won't even. Another thing I'll do when no one's looking when I'm by myself is that's the only time I will allow myself to on purpose audibly burp.
Yeah, I mean, you know what though? I don't think any of us really do that.
No,
I get annoyed. I think I get annoyed with people that do that a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. I know people who do.
I you know what? Well, I mean, I know my kids that do.
Yeah,
but I don't actually know a lot of adults that do that.
Well, and especially women, you should not be doing that.
Okay,
Nobody should be doing it.
No. Listen, I'm equal opportunity. If you're going to be a jerk about it, just be a jerk about it. if you're not, then you're not. But it's not the domain of a man or a woman like doing one or the other.
Men should not be doing it.
Nobody
women should definitely not be doing it.
No, nobody should be doing it.
But
if
more
you're
so
do
women.
It, but still, if you're gonna do it, just own it. Like I know people that just own it. I don't like it, but I'm not going to tell you can't do it because we both have girl parts. I'm just going to tell you, like, I just don't find it, I don't find it appealing. But you're not sleeping with me, so it's fine. That's your business. Like,
I mean, accidents happen, but,
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not walking around. Yeah, and that annoys me when people just let it fly. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I don't even really do that when I'm on my own. Like, when nobody's watching, it's ingrained in me to not do that. So,
yeah,
I just don't do it. It makes sense.
You were raised right.
Okay.
In that regard.
Look, now that's the call. That's the call I'm gonna get. Is my mother going? Why'd you laugh after that? Excuse you. I know I raised you better than that. Yeah. So we'll. Oh well. So I mean, are we encouraging people to happily do things when nobody's watching, or to live more like just doing things in the everyday and not caring?
No, I think it should be more. There are some things you should not be doing around other people. Like licking a plate. I don't need to be doing that around people.
You know what? Now that you've said that, I'm totally licking plates at the restaurant from now on. If I like a dessert,
is a game changer. And because I'm Asian, I don't like to waste. So it kills me in a restaurant to not be able to lick my plate.
So nobody loses. Everybody wins.
Yeah,
there you go. I'm doing you a favor.
Things you should not lick plates in public, especially if you're a woman.
Shut up. I should have seen that coming.
But yeah, no, I think it's more, it's finding comfort with what we know we do, but it doesn't mean, being comfortable with yourself and the whole idea of dancing like nobody's watching. That's a good idea when you're talking about dancing. There are some things you should not be doing when people are watching, and you should have the wisdom to know the difference.
Okay, that's fair. You should have the wisdom to know the difference.
Just because you can and you're comfortable doing it in front of people does not mean that you should.
I would just say, live more of your life the way that you want.
In private.
And hey, and if you're doing things in private, don't be ashamed of it just because you've chosen to have that be a private activity.
You just want that alone time.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with it. You're allowed to sort of just like let your hair down and be comfortable in your own skin. It's it's not shameful to do it in private. You're just doing things in private.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Agreed.
Life is good.
Yep.
Okay. In the meantime, we'll be back very soon with new episodes. You should go check our website. Go to matriarchdm.com. We have a show page for Twila and Natalie. You can listen to previous episodes, and you can email the show. The email address is hello@matriarchdm.com. We're here because of your support, and we appreciate it, and we will talk to you soon.